Good morning, folks. It's 9:13 a.m. on the ninth month, 18th day, 2025. Right, here we go, here we go, here we go. The imminent flooding of the South Island of New Zealand is imminent. Another way to put it than it. Verify that my mic's working. Sounds good to me. We have volume, we have picture. Right, this is a 1 week worth of totals here. Actually, if I move it to 9 here, this should be exactly a week. But the stuff is going to come starting on Friday, which will be my time Friday. So that's you, to give you an exact. And I'm starting to time it for when it hits the South Island on this coast here, right? Because by the time it gets up towards Takaka and Nelson, you're going to be in the thick. Like if you was driving down towards the south, you're going to get to a point where you're not going to go no further, right? Because I've done that road. So let's have a peek here for your pretty much exact starting times for the populated areas. Is going to be. I got to do the time zones in my head. Isn't that fun to do? So let's see. We got at 12 today. Yeah, 28, 30. Yeah, isn't it fun to meet me? Let's see, 'cause that's 6 o'clock in the afternoon my time. Puts it at about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning on Sunday is when you're really going to be start to experience the shit along here. Yeah, they catch you right where you got to go to church, right? And the totals are going to come fast, very, very fast. So I'm expecting, and that's right there within a 2 day period of time, a huge amount of water. It's going to be impacting the areas over down through here, Collinwood, Sakaka, Patton's Rock, all that. Or this river system is for sure. You know, these peaks in here. So if you was planning on camping down there, change your mind. Okay, just change your mind. It's easy to do. Or make sure you're up and out of there early Saturday morning, New Zealand time, because things are going to change drastically fast. You don't want to get caught out here, especially like where this rivers meet here. Yeah, this is one of the key spots. I had a little look at the maps last night because I didn't have enough signal really to broadcast because we've had some bad storms here too. Anytime I see these things here, I know, well, that's flood defenses for water. So it's going to be directing a lot of stuff towards this river system here. So by the time it gets to places like this, is it going to be able to go around this corner like it normally does, or will it take a shortcut down this road, Salisbury Falls? So these people in here, you've got a little bit of time to get your stuff and get out now, get your stuff up out of the area. So you got time. You got like 2 days, and so everybody go out and help each other to get their stuff out because this place will flood. It's going to flood fast, thick, and deep, as you can see. Within a 1 week period of time from Saturday to Saturday, you got over, a third of a meter of water. It's a couple feet of rain there, folks. In case you ain't familiar, I could put it on that type of graph for other people around the world might understand the extent of the amount of water that's being moved towards us, and it's over a foot, 13 inches. And that's not a lying 13 inches. It's like the real thing you measure. Okay, you're going to be experiencing some terrific winds. Well, they're not very terrific to experience, but they're really horrific. Would be a more accurate word during this terrible event that New Zealand's about to experience. And around the same time, I got to say, Tassie's east, I mean West Coast, excuse me, is also getting in the thick because they'll get it a little sooner, and they get some big totals and heavy winds to be contending with too. As the geoengineers have put a high pressure block with EMF across eyes through here, there's nowhere for the water to go but crossing down. And when it gets down here and it hits this high, right, because the high will be rotating counterclockwise, it's going to whip it right up into New Zealand. But not before it cools it off real nice down here. Yeah, so you got some really big volatility coming. This one here is rotating counterclockwise as well as whipping all this tropical air over to move up and down, which is probably around the 23rd or so. You'll start to see an impact on the North Island with some of the rains when that one finally gets there to meet the cold air coming from the south, which is not going to continue to make things nice. weather-wise. But, when the geoengineers can spray what they want with pretty much impunity. I don't know another word for it. So you still got a couple hours to get to the grocery store, Tazy, but then you're in this shit. Be risking health workers. Your 2 week total is disastrous. It's disastrous, right? When I look at the 2 weeks totals on these areas here, right? You ain't getting across some of these passes. Yeah, this is when I say you got to get in your arc sometimes when you're getting close to the half a meter range. Half a meter is almost 2 feet of water. Are you Americans out there who like to make things sound worse? You know, my example is when you ever look at a weather map and they talk about temperature and you see this color here they're using and they tell you it's only like 23 degrees, they're trying to sell you that it's hotter by using your mind. But we're looking over a half a meter of water on the 2 weeks here, and that includes Nelson, New Zealand itself. Okay, so to give them no warning at all would be to do them a great injustice. And I won't ever do that. That's a beautiful town. And they shouldn't expect about the same area of impact time for their totals. As you see, they're pretty much on the later half of the week. But you got time to prepare, and you got time to help each other. Because if we don't help each other, then we will remain helpless. You can't expect the government that wants to take to suddenly want to give, other than to give you a solution. Oh, we'll give it some more green taxes. Oh, let us modify the weather. We need geoengineering to control this. I mean, well, I look at geoengineering, control it. Well, look at these devilish skies. I could do that little song I did, but I'm scared I'm going to get it jingled out. Yeah, these are devilish looking stuff. These curves here, stuff up in the sky, and this stripes going over the top. These ain't jet planes that did this. Drones I could see possibly just flying patterns. It's almost like a descending waterfall, a chemical catalyst, but I can tell by the plume that this is streaming that direction. Yeah, because the main point of the coma of things is here, as you see, like that circle, dot, 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 dot. Storm seasoning's going in the air. And that's fried out, isn't it? Absolutely fried out. Nowhere is safe. I've never seen a country in this world that has not sprayed. Even Antarctica, where all these treaties are there. Oh, you got radar, and you see the wedge pointing right at your station. We can triangulate a radar sometimes by I know there's a mountain line here, which can cause this effect too. However, when you get wedges this accurate pointing at a Gisborne's radar, you got to go, ahem. You know what I'm talking about here? I'll show you. Yeah, we can do pretty accurate lines if I just use this Mr. Squiggles tool, or Mr. Squiggles' friend here, the straight line. Yeah, I find this is a very accurate straight line to do. So if I could just go like this, we'll see where they crisscrossing at. See this, that could be more accurate to take that down a little bit. So I'm looking at the straight lines that's been nucleated in the clouds itself, right? Another wedge here. Another wedge coming from out at sea. You got radar right over here. You can see with the perturbations even of the vibration of when they get these molecules moving, when you hit them with a microwave, they'll start moving faster, right? And the frequency will have them jumping up and down, depending upon what frequencies are used. They'll up and down and a little side to side, like little figure eights, little torus fields. And you can see evidence of it in some of these clouds here. Bzz, bzz, bzz. The fryer created a line of perturbation here, which causes flow differentials to occur. It's a great way to zoom, isn't it? You got the vapors. Look at all the chem here. Isn't that horrendous? From there to there is I don't want that. I wanted this. Right there. Different kind of nucleation. You see all the squares right inside, like right there. You see the square? It looks a little different than the clouds around it, don't it? Because it's geoengineered cloud. It's man-made stuff. It's crap. And this is an image from today. Yesterday, the chemical cloud was right over the top of you over here. Look at this. I wanted to show this yesterday, but I was having difficulty. Were you coughing, sneezing, feeling bad, lethargic, burning skins and eyes around these areas here where the fallout occurred from this chemical cloud? Where you got carpet bombed from sources unknown? Well, we all deserve an honest answer to who's doing. I think it's a computerized program now. Say somebody just launches some balloon in the sky with platforms with scientific equipment on it that they assume is going to do what they think it's going to do, and then it does this. Drones can do a lot. Thousands of thousands. You ever see when they can release 100,000 drones from the back of a transport plane and they all do various nisses? Yeah, yeah, some of the scenarios seem rather unpleasant to want to experience or anticipate. So I try not to paint such pictures in your mind. But you can't help but think that from people that lied to you about words of safe and effective are they're very safe on the administrators of the effective code. I don't have any other way to put it. I'm looking at a step move through here. It's going to make some moisture happen toward the coastline in a few days. Yeah, they had to hold this off with microwaves to get the system to do what it's going to do. So let's roll through what's about to occur because I've just shown you a sky that looks like turds. It does. It's a very turdy situation. Yeah. Yeah. What's up, Doc? It could turn into suck my word. Yeah, he went there. Hello to you as well, Mr. Shine. Here comes the fucking nasty weather, winter time. Let me get rid of that so it comes through. Yeah, let's just get it really cold for people, and then it's going to evaporate some of the rain that was there in the ground from previous, and that'll make it a little bit colder, Kaikoura cold. But with that EMF I saw over here, the block is here, it forces everything to the western side of the island. We got that kind of a situation going here. Preston Nextrad's been pinning everything toward the Mersey all night. Yep, slowing down the flow across the Irish Sea. Make sure things can go more toward Europe, Spain, France, Italy. Yeah, I'll zoom back a bit because we're still yawning, waiting. Do you see a little welcome rain there coming across New South Wales through Vic and SA? It starts here in about 10, 12 hours. Yeah, your overnight hours will be so wet and moist. There might even be a lot of noise involved. Yep, cat on a hot tin roof or rain on a chembound roof. So it sounds about the same to me. I'll let this just roll a bit. Yeah, it's going to be quite the lightning show when this hot and cold air mixes with those desert dynamics. I didn't really roll much of an image of out west today. I just wanted to get the warning out to New Zealand that now is the time to prepare your engineer, get in it. Some of you people in these areas need to react immediately and just leave in some of those areas. I'll do a Who's Fucked show sometime tonight. Yeah, I want to nail down where the water is. That mass that's coming from up in the tropics, it has been diverted. It could arrive sooner than I expected. Yeah, what they can do with laminar flow and lateral flow is pretty good. If you speed it up too much, it'll actually cause a turbulence that'll slow the mass down. Yeah, so the pressure on the mass of water they move has to be very precise to move it all in like a no turbulent river. They should show you examples of that turbulent flow. It's when they put the frequency on a garden hose and it turns into like different waveforms, and that's that type flow. Here we go. Yeah, Cooks is going to get a battering. Does the flow of this here is kicking a lot of air down from the tropics and circulating like that, and it's digging deep, man. It's going all the way up to Vanuatu to pull this air down on top of you. Coming through Monday during the day, and it's going to take a lot of EMF on the North Island, like you've been seeing in pictures like this here, to force this flow. You're going to see stuff like this, but it's going to be all across your island. You see like that Friar look? It'll be further out to here to force that flow there. And we're even seeing some examples of it now. Tendril 1's right there. See that little haze look here? The things, it tells me that's a tendril. See, these are where I got to do my determinants for how much water you're going to get. Right through here. That's a tendril. You see how that looks a little different? Here's another cut right there. It's exactly here. That's a thick patch. And this is how I start to do my determination of how much water you're going to get. This is off limits. You can't get there. The EMF has this shut. Everything has to come actually right there. It's pretty much shut. You see this haze line right here? See this line right here? That's your storm line. This is where the heaviest totals go. You see that right here? That's a condensation drop line. When things come in here, they have to slow down and drop. You guys in here are fucked. Where I just squiggled. The EMF is telling me this. I can see this plate is day just looking at that. Just looking at that little bit there. Get the waveform in your sky. And I'll do those little squiggles for you. Devilish skies, devilish skies. Hey, you see the sine waveform sometimes, like the sine waveform like this. Here it's going sideways like that. This one's going like this. So you have the interference of the waveform is here, right here, and that's where the water will turn. Is because you have double the influence, like this wave and that wave met. So the peak would then double. It'll go up, and the trough will go down. The same distance as the wave meet, and just basic sine wave science. And then if you think about chem as being a little bit thicker than the surrounding air as water, then you can then move that mass with frequency or wind, excuse me, to wherever you want. You see this EMF here? That's caused the heated flow there. So that's just like putting your hand out and directing water. I have to remember to hit that thing in the corner of the screen. There we go. I'm just reading the waveforms. See the waveform in here? That's a channel of flow. No clouds are in there, so that's just air moving to feed, and it hits this mass here. And if the EMF is going up, the air coming to it will go down, or vice versa. So we can make the flow go where we want. Okay, this is how we can mix tropical flow and Antarctic flow, however we want it to go. So let's run through this some more. So I'm expecting that move to be going on, ongoing. So, which is also going to keep vibrating your mantle over that island, which makes you more susceptible to earthquake induction through electromagnetic frequency perturbation of the mantle itself. Heat and contract, heat and contract. Okay, what happens? Right. So during times like that, when a lot of EMF comes down from a local radars, will not be helping your situation, and you add some really big beams that are going to be needed to move this, and I'm going to elevate your earthquake risk. By Bay of Plenty, near White Island areas like that, and Cook Strait, Wellington areas, because that's where I'm seeing the EMF right now, where the interference is. And they can hide the beams that you ain't. What they do to the clouds is undeniable. I use it for forecasting whenever they decide not to turn the radar on. I can always see what they're doing. And thank you everybody for your kind support. Really, it's very, very humbling. And that kind support is allowing us all to get this warning. And that's happening today. So everybody thank yourself for that. I really am very grateful. And so will a lot of people who never even get a chance to be on the thank you ends or the sarcastic ends of these broadcasts where we have a little fun sometimes. It's a very windy day. And that's what you're getting. This when this low forms, very suddenly the winds that were going like that switch, right? Because of that low dynamic, and then it pulls what was here back up and through. And by then the EMF on the North Island's been turned off. It's going to lead to some fair totals, 10, 12 centimeters in some areas. I'm definitely expecting. But the South Island's about to have a devastating 2 weeks. Okay, so let's concern ourselves with the next 7 days, and let's be kind to each other. I've had enough of the meanness going on. It's right. Let's play nice with each other. Everybody always likes to ask, what would Jesus do? I don't know. Show me. You show me what he would do. Would he call people up to jobs and try to get him sacked? Would he go to funerals and act like an asshole and disrespect the dead? No. Would not do either of those things. What he would do is warn people, help people, and be nice. And he would not spray these stuff in the sky. He would not let stuff fall out amongst the animals. You should have seen yesterday. Yesterday was another crime scene in this area of marine life. Right? Again, you see the waveforms on the side of these clouds here. Sine waves. Or do they not teach math in school no more? Because if they was teaching that your penis and your vagina didn't determine your gender, then I have a feeling that school has failed all of us miserably. You know, I believe in don't bully anybody. I damn sure believe that 1 plus 1 still equals 2 in most situations. Would you agree, Ballarat? Right? My tractor people down there. Yeah, you attracted a lot of attention that day when you told a politician, no more, no more, is this town your whore. Look at the freaking frequency over Tassie yesterday. And add to it today. Ah, a different kind of plume setup, different kind of coffin, a different kind of lethargia. Here's your traditional chemtrail with a shadow. That's not a black chemtrail, it's a shadow, by the way. Somebody asked me yesterday, so I said, I'll try to remember to show you. So there you go, my friend. I hope that answers your question. When I see that haze like this here, I know that air through there is closed. It ain't passing. In the waveform in the ocean itself will throw off the navigation of the beautiful marine animals that we love, like dolphins and whales, which often causes them to beach, which causes me to bitch. Very loud, very loud. Because if we don't speak up for the things that we've never learned to listen to, whose fault is it? It's ours, of course. Because we're the ones that say we should block the sun or reflect it back into space is what a fact checker would tell you, which to me means blocking it. Yeah. Have big beams come down. I think I'm going to show you. You ought to see this. What? I've still been trying to determine all the emitters that were involved in this. Now we have, I'll show you why, but it's HARP that I want to show you. You see the big fryers here? This is setting up the flow. That was sets it up big right there. I'll show you a lot on that. Maybe it'll show it. Nah, I waited too long to get it. Watch. Wait a minute, that last screen should be sufficient. That'll do. You got a lot of stations on here, not just one. I got Alice over here, had a square. Yeah, a big beam come down from the top. This is a big mark. We had HARP fire pretty much shutting the Bering Sea down at all flow. We had one come down like this, okay, in a wave like that. We had a square fire here underneath dead. That's when I said, are you getting any quakes in this area to somebody? I said it the other day. You got another station here that's fired, right? It went like that. So you have a big one there. Yeah, I could read it. Alice Springs absolutely blasted you, right? It came from over here. Put a big square out down there. And its waveform was pushing that direction in a pulse. And it pinned everything down here. So it couldn't come across but into the mountain and out. And it pins this flow here. And when they put the radar on here, at any point they stick the radar on in here, it'll force this flow up and into Queensland, which is about to happen. Yeah, I've seen this move before. But if you see what they've done over in up at HARP itself, HARP is fired. There's only one device on this planet you can call HARP. You can say HARP type static antenna arrays, ionosphere, ionosodes. See it right here? Bzzz. That's HARP. HARP site over here. Boom, boom. Close the pole down. First you see rush of fire. Pow. It throws its air this way. It throws that way. This comes across. The only passage it could come in is through Canada here. But it would be very nice if it did that and put out all the fires. But it's going to bring some cold air down through the United States. And could, if it makes it into the Gulf of Mexico, based on this beam, some moisture here backing up into Mexico, that's going to be a quake causer for Oaxaca. Acapulco. And then there's big problems coming for the United States. Hurricane season is active, and this is the setup that shuts the pole that moves the cold air down towards the Gulf. Yeah, very big concern for them in about 4 days. Those are the big beams I'm talking about. When a big beam like that comes down New Zealand way, when you're doing all them radars on, It's not a good thing for you guys. So let's let this roll. I let you have. Didn't I done a long enough amount of time? And have I done when New South Wales gets theirs? Let's just roll it some more. I'll read a few comments while this rolls along. Well, Cairns, I didn't. I saw no need to update the accurate forecast I done. If I do stuff like that, I'm just repeating myself. And well, there's paid weather services that then will then get paid by you to say, hey, I got a new update. I'm sorry, I'm starting to resent that when I'm on the bones of my ass, eating stuff you guys would never approve of. But I'm so happy to see it on my shelf, right? It makes me disgusted. Yeah, I do. I see some people having big steak dinners after fucking doing forecasts that they say, hey, look, here's your update. Yes, I could make a subscription service. No, I don't want to. I just want my job, go wash dishes, and be a good boy like Toby, and then my co-hot to the world is me washing dishes and doing this. It would be my finest wish. Travel to visit the trees of everywhere in the world to sit and talk with people. Like we used to have a tree we sat around in old villages and stuff, and that's where lore got taught and lessons and wisdom got handed down. Like if you stand up too fat in a cave, you're going to bump your head. You could read about that in a book, or you could experience it. Which one's going to show you how to duck? Exactly. You might not ducking up. You'll be ducking up. Yeah, this is batch number 3. It's just an endless period of wets. That's why I told somebody, I don't see an end in sight. And again, wintry weather for the end of the month. And now we are in springtime proper after the 22nd, as far as I'm concerned, of September. And winter is not stopped. The heating bills have not ended. Hey, Sydney, like you have a surfer day coming. It's just the never-ending story. Let me see. This pressure, when it's like this and it's holding under here, that stays along the coast. All they have to do is put a beam here. That'll dive south. And so I won't know where that's going to go till then. So to even have a guess at you, I say they strip the moisture and send it inland. Have I seen that one before? Let me show you some of your wind accumulations that you're going to experience gustinesses over the next 36 hours. Actually, some of the stuff in Oz is not going to be pleasant to be experiencing. As some of this stuff it gets cut off on that EMF line, it's like having a pass in the mountains or a constriction in a passage. It'll cause air to flow faster. That's why they have one of those nozzles on the end of a blow dryer that kind of pinches the air down to a point so you can increase the velocity of the airflow. That's just how that works. Which also changes its pressure. There's a relationship. So these are big, big gusty winds for the weekend. So if you're planning on taking your caravan up along this coast, I would suggest you do not. This is not the time for that. Yeah. Or be very careful. I don't like this. Some of the gusts I was seeing was near 100. 100 is never nothing you want to be experiencing in a high-sided vehicle. Told people numb nut in their caravans. When I come over here, I'm like, these are no-go zones for Earthers Pass. You ain't going there. Just don't. Just forget it. This is some of the wind gusts you're going to be experiencing that was on Saturday. This is through Sunday, right? You don't go. Just forget it. And where some of you people that are already in dodgy vehicles, dwellings, them roofs ain't going to stay on. Arthur's Pass National Park. Yeah, you better park somewhere else that day. Yeah, not good at all. I don't really see many safe spots. Other than visiting somebody, you're getting your bike off. I know some people that are bike traveling as well. Yep, not good at all. So let's look out for each other, all right? And if somebody's being nice to you and helping you, don't be a dick at their house. I'm sorry, I just got to say it. Yeah, don't be an asshole. Here there comes the wind. Now, this is like your regular winds, not just the gusts. But that's just a danger zone. So you ain't going across in Wellington then, are you? Have you got the idea yet that you got a big problem coming? I don't want to be kicking a dead horse. The waves are going to be bad. Coastal erosion is going to be bad. Wind's going to be bad. The weather's going to be bad. You're going to get cold. Shamoll, bad motherfuckers. And it's going to lead some terrible totals between a Saturday and a Saturday there. But you still got time to get ready, don't you? Yes, you got time. Time is on your side. You've been warned. Don't ever let them tell you these storms are unpredictable. Because I told you last week to get ready. Now I'm telling you to get in your arcs. I'll probably give you 24 hours to get in your arcs. Call the animals in 2 by 2. Oh, this is going to get bad. Yeah, you got time to be prepared. Don't be hoarding stuff. You're going to need your emergency supplies. You're going to need them fast if you're in low-lying areas. If the Collinwood areas, get the fuck out. Especially that one area I showed you over here. It's just going to get really wicked. Will the dam hold? Who knows? How now for brown cow? Who's the culprit in the pulpit? It's the geoengineers and the storm seasonings that appeared that caused your bad weather. Big love. Stay safe, people. Peace.